Hey, 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 it's Pika over here in Singapore. It is Saturday night. Alright, technically Sunday morning. But you know me, night owl, I'm up late. So, 2nd of December, brilliant day. We're looking at full moon in Gemini tomorrow. Um, Lots of new things shifting into place. But today was an amazing, amazing day. Let me tell you, it started really early too. So last night, when I did my podcast, it was very quick. But basically, I told you that I was redoing my daughter's hair. I'm pretty sure I fell asleep halfway through, and she definitely fell asleep. I woke up and like finished doing her hair, and I finished at like 3 in the morning while she was asleep. So I had to keep turning her head so I could finish the rest of her head. Um, Went to bed. Took me a minute to fall asleep as usual. Because right when I want to go to sleep is suddenly when all my stupid ideas come up. So I went to bed about 3ish. Alarm set for 5:30. Snoozed that. Alarm set for 6 o'clock. Um, I would have snoozed that except for some reason I woke up just before it, and my brother had texted me what he was in Malaysia, and he was like, you know what, I'm getting ready to board the plane, are you up? And I was like, shit, I need to get up. So when the second alarm went off, I was actually already up. So got up, got dressed real quick, just like threw on some sweats and a t-shirt, a tank top, sweatshirt because it's gonna be cold on the train and the train and the bus in the mornings, and I headed out to Terminal 4. Yo. um Got to Terminal 4. I didn't even know Terminal 4 was open, first of all. Got to Terminal 4. He had landed maybe 10 minutes prior, and it was just so good to see him. I didn't realize until today that I have not seen my brother in person since he left a year ago. Yeah. So, got to see him and his girlfriend, and we were plotting the whole way back from the airport. Got to our house, talked to my dad and my mom who were there, just trying to figure out what all he needed to get done. And then he went off to his girlfriend's house to change and leave his luggage there because she needs to pick up her luggage, and they were leaving for the UK later on this evening. Her graduation is back in London. Very, very proud of her. Super smart young lady. She's going to be the next Bones, I'm telling you. Anyway, so he went off there. We got dressed and got ready to head out to the temple because it was one of the things he wanted to do. He had missed the anniversary of the deaths of my grandmother and my grandfather, and he wanted to do like a special puja for them. So we figured, all right, you're here in Singapore for like, I don't know, 7 hours. Let's just go get everything you wanted to get done. So we got dressed and got ready to leave for the temple. Obviously, she doesn't know that we're all gathering together in the same place so he can propose in front of all of us. I was so excited. Um, anyway, fast forward, got to the temple, and we went around and did the what is it? The Moksha for both my grandparents. And as we were walking around, he and I like sending hand signals, smoke signals, whatever, trying to figure out where's the best place to do this. Make sure that everyone is aware. And of course, her family's over here like giving each other sidelong glances, and they just really are not good at keeping secrets. But that's okay. They're super excited now. I mean, I don't blame them. So finally, he popped the question. He handed her an empty ring box, and she was like, "Whatever. What is this? Like this? Am I being punked?" And she kind of like shook the ring box in his face a little bit, and he reached in his pocket and pulled out a snitch. So for those of y'all who are Potterheads, y'all know, right? Quidditch, the snitch, the golden snitch, all that. So he had actually bought a brass golden snitch, basically, and inside the snitch, it's the ring. So it was really cool because she was over here like, laughing out of nervousness, and she was like, "What the fuck is going on? Like, what is wrong with you? I figured you'd be like doing something stupid." But when he pulled out the snitch, her face, like her jaw dropped. It was so cool. Anyway, so he proposed to her today. She said yes. I've never heard anyone say yes so quietly. Like in all the movies, they're like, "Yes, yes, yes," and she was like, "Yes," and I was like, "Huh?" So yeah, she definitely said yes. She was super, super excited. We finished all our prayers and everything, and then we headed back to their house for lunch. Hung out with them for a little bit, had lunch, and then she had to run some errands real quick, so we escorted them out towards Next, and we went home, and they went, to finish whatever their errands were. Um, Came back home. Like when I woke up this morning, I felt like I was coming down with the flu or something. I'm telling you, man, my immunity sucks. It really does. I need to fix that. Anyway, so came back home after all this excitement, and I told my daughter, look, you know what? I'm tired. I'm gonna take a nap, and you're gonna take a nap with me because we're gonna be up late tonight because, you know, it's the wedding and everything. So, we took a nap. I woke up on time. I swear I woke up on time. I had an idea of what I wanted to do. I put up a poll on Instagram to see if I should wear Western clothes or, you know, a sari to this wedding because it's super casual and it's not in a temple. It was at Keppel Club. So I wasn't sure what to wear and I was thinking, you know, maybe I could wear this, maybe I could wear that. And finally I decided, all right, let me wear a sari. So when I woke up from my nap, I had to pull out my suitcase of saris and like figure out which one I wanted to wear, if I had a blouse fit, blah, 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 the whole 9 yards. Found one. It happens to be my grandmother's, you know, sari before she passed. Needed to be ironed, so I ironed everything. I was ready to go, you know. Got in the shower, came back out, was putting my makeup on, and like, you know, while my foundation was drying, I figured I'd, you know, tie the sari. Man, let me tell you, my sari was not like sitting right. The pleats weren't coming together. I don't know what it was. And that's where I started getting late. So I threw that sari aside. I picked out another sari, which was like a rayon polyester blend or whatever. That would have flowed easily, only one edge was not finished. So I was like, man, I can't wear this to a damn wedding. So I threw that aside, tried like 2, 3 dresses, and then I looked at the clock and it was like 10 minutes to 6, and I was like, shit, I'm going to be late. I mean, by this time I'd already given baby girl a bath. She was dressed and ready to go. But yeah, I got late. She was meant to be the flower girl, y'all, and we missed the ROM itself, and she did not get to be the flower girl, but she did get to be a flower girl for, you know, the bride and groom march into dinner afterwards. So, I mean, it all worked out, but yeah, I was late. It was terrible. I felt really guilty. Yeah, so all in all, really, really great day. Met so many family members I haven't seen in so long, and it was just nice. But that's not the reason I chose the topic of honesty. So, as you all know, I am very, very spiritual. I've been super into oracle cards lately. I don't pull them myself, but I do use Instagram as kind of like my own like barometer for what I should do, what I shouldn't do, because I trust that it's random and I know what speaks to me and what doesn't. So, I mean, I just use it, whatever, whoever's pulled whatever, and they have like an explanation underneath. I don't really have to think about it and, you know, kind of go with it from there. There was a card that came up tonight that said, be honest about your feelings. Like, you have to be honest with yourself about your feelings. I know what my feelings are, and sometimes I do deny them a little bit. For the most part, I am very honest about who I am, what I'm doing with myself. Now, I'm not saying I lie to people, but I am saying I will not reveal how I actually feel for fear of losing them, for fear of destroying the relationship, for fear of whatever. So, for instance, I have a friend. He's more than a friend. He's like my best friend. And every so often he'll disappear and come back. And that's cool and everything. But I value his friendship so much. Because when we're talking, it's freaking, you know, it's miraculous almost. Like, the way we feed each other, the way we, like, you know, fill each other with ideas and encouragement, and, you know, just sparks fly. We have a great relationship. When it's good, it's freaking brilliant. When it's bad, it's heartbreaking. And it's not abusive in any way. I'm not saying that at all. But for me, the one thing that hurts me more than anything else is to be ignored. And I know for a fact it's not happening on purpose. But it still hurts. It doesn't, you know, it doesn't hurt any less. So, I am terrified of telling people like this in my life how I really feel. For instance, I have a family member that I'm upset with. And as much as I would smile and, you know, be polite, because there are other family members that would be super upset if I didn't, you know, do my duty and be polite and be courteous, I know for a fact that me being quiet is not helping the situation. I am not remedying the situation. I'm kind of like putting a Band-Aid on it for now. I'm covering it up. And that's not who I am. I'm not saying I'm out there to, you know, go rock the boat and beat people up and like really like, you know, upset people with the truth or anything. But I think it's my duty to tell you also that you're hurting me. And that I don't want to stand for these kinds of behaviors. but I also value the relationship. Now, some of these family members, I don't value the relationship that much, but the other relationships that are affected by this one, those are the ones I'm worried about. So I don't push too hard on this particular relationship for fear that I'll upset the other relationships that are really, really dear to me. So, tonight I'm going to pose you a question. Is it right to hold your tongue if it will save a relationship? Or is it better to say your piece as politely as possible, knowing full well that people are just going to be offended, and then hope that, they understand at some point and realize that you did not intend to hurt them. You were just trying to speak your truth because it was hurting you. And if they valued you the way you valued them, they would want to know these things. I'm leaning toward the latter, but I also know people these days. I know how soft this generation is. I know how people just can't take their feelings being hurt. They can't have a simple conversation and admit they're guilty or wrong or whatever it is at all. It's not the kind of, it's not the generation I grew up in. And even then, there are people in my generation who do this shit too. So I'm just saying, there's some people just can't handle emotional anything. They will fly off the handle. They will tell you all. They will tell you left, right, and center what you're doing wrong, but cannot hear anything that they're doing wrong. But how do you handle that? Do you tell them the truth and always be in alignment with, who you really are? Or do you kind of keep them at arm's length, take care of them as best as possible, and then just don't rock the boat? What do you think? What's the best way to do that? Because as much as this card keeps telling me, speak your truth to yourself, basically, I know what my truth is. I know how I feel about the situation. But I don't feel comfortable pushing it. I understand 360 degrees of why, what they're doing, why they're doing what they're doing for this particular one that I'm worried about. I worry about them a lot. And I just feel like if I were to tell them on top of everything else that they have on their head, this is how I feel about the situation, they're going to run. Because I've seen it happen before. They've done it before. They've done it 2-3 times before. So he's already establishing a pattern. And I know what's going to happen next. But I'm doing myself a disservice, I feel like, by not saying anything. And I'm not trying to beat a dead horse and tell him over and over again either. That's not what I'm saying. I'm going to tell you once, and I'm going to watch what you do with what I tell you. Anyway, that's the insight for the day. That's what I'm going to sleep with at the moment. That's what's on my mind right now. What do I do? I mean, I could be petty. I could treat you the way you treat me. You're not going to like it. I could be aggressive and tell you off in front of everybody, because I've seen people do that to this person, and I don't like it. It pisses me the hell off. I want to jump in and say something, but I know I can't. That's the quickest way to emasculate somebody. That's the quickest way to take any kind of dignity they might have had or thought they had for themselves and kind of, just destroy it. That's not who I am. I speak life, not death. I don't want you to feel badly. I want you to feel strong at all times. But even in that strength, I want you to feel like, you know what? This could be made better if I just adjust this. Because they told me that it needs adjusting. Anyway. More tomorrow. With this cold that's trying to attack me at the moment, I definitely took 2 Neocept, which I hate taking drugs. I hate taking medicine for anything at all unless it's super urgent. So I need the sleep, but I know Neocept will knock me on my ass. I wish we had NyQuil and DayQuil here, but I don't. And they're back here using Panadol where I'm used to using Advil and Aleve and, I don't know, Tylenol extra strength and all that stuff, but they don't have that here. So I will do what I can with what I have until I have better, and then I'll do better. But in the meantime, y'all take care, and I will catch you tomorrow. Take care. Bye.